Dying Light is an interesting tale because it divided gamers into two different groups. One that absolutely loves it and one that absolutely maybe not hate it but not love it that much. And the whole reason why this happened is because of the first game, original Dying Light. It was so monumental for most gamers. The story, the world, the gameplay was so big and so effective for them that Dying Light 2 was not that big of a deal for them. So the question is Dying Light 2 actually worth it this year? More than 3 years after its release? And yeah, I'm going to be answering you right away. Just giving you my opinion because with this game, it's not really black and white because it's very much shades of gray. And not gonna lie, for me, it was not an amazing experience. Not that I hated them, but I had a misfortune of also comparing this with an original game. And the atmosphere of original game is simply unbeatable. And Dying Light 2 did not manage it for me. Not because it's a bad game, not because it lacks something, but it's because it lacks, well, kind of atmosphere. But without getting into details, none of what I said makes sense. So let's get into details. To be fair, in dynamic world of open world zombie survival games, Dying Light 2 actually has continued to evolve with beyond of its 2022 release. And in 2025, it's ushering a new era of updates and events and even promise of new standalone title. Many gamers are, well, asking whether it's actually worth it to buy right now or not. And that's actually the main reason why I made this video. And to answer this, let's explore what this game actually is and what kind of updates you can expect this year. At its heart, Dying Light 2 is an adrenaline-fueled open-world survival experience that marries the fluid parkour system with intense melee and ranged combat. Players control Aiden, whose agile and free-running abilities allow for breathtaking leaps, climbs and dashes across a sprawling urban environment that dramatically shifts from relative safety of the daylight to the filled with aggressive and mutated hordes during the night. The game's day-night cycle remains a cornerstone of the experience, with nighttime bringing heightened danger and tension. Design choice that was taken from original game and kinda evolved in the second one. The combat system is primarily melee-based, but augmented by the selection of firearms and ranged weapons, and it's designed to reward risk and exploration. Now, granted, in the original launch, you didn't have a lot of firearms, if any at all, but with updates they were added, and now they're kind of maybe not even an integral part of the game, but they are there. While many players have noted that action sometimes lacks the visceral impact of original game, ongoing updates and tweaks have aimed to refine these mechanics further, balancing brutality with strategy. And with additional RPG elements such as character progression through multiple skill trees, well, actually 2 skill trees, combat and parkour, it offers players meaningful choices that affects both gameplay and narrative outcomes. So to be fair, Dying Light 2 is basically Dying Light 1 but refined in a way that devs thought that it needs to be refined. Basically, it is just more of Dying Light 1. But again, for me, it kinda does not capture its original atmosphere. But more about this a bit later. But what about ongoing life cycle of the game? What are the things that are being added or improved in the past few years, and what things we can expect in the near future? Well, first things first, game actually has ongoing live events and seasonal events, which makes it very reminiscent to a live service game, even though it's not. So for example, you can have in-game events from summer updates and Halloween challenges to winter-themed events, where for example the world is covered in snow, which I always like. Game is also adding a permanent tower raid mode, which at the moment of recording is not fully out yet, and is one of the standout additions of the game. This roguelite experience injects fresh strategic gameplay elements, challenging players to navigate unpredictable, ever-changing scenarios while earning unique gear and rewards. Game is also seeing graphical improvements because the original game is getting its 10-year anniversary update, which will upgrade its graphics engine, and the same can be said about Dying Light 2 because they are getting graphical improvements as well. And beyond these updates, there is also upcoming standalone Dying Light Beast, which represents the next evolutionary leap in a franchise. Now, originally it was planned as a DLC for Dying Light 2, and to be fair, I didn't like that they ripped it out of the game and made it a standalone. But they actually did it in a right way, meaning that if you purchased an Ultimate Edition of the game, which was supposed to include Dying Light Beast as a DLC for Dying Light 2, you're getting a standalone game for absolutely free, which I absolutely like. But now, let's talk about comparison with an original, and yeah, it's kind of matter of taste. The original Dying Light often revered for its immersive atmosphere, gritty storytelling, and unparalleled sense of dread that escalates as sun sets. While Dying Light 2 expands on these ideas, introducing a larger map, more diverse missions, and refined parkour mechanics, its departure in tone has been a point of contention among fans. Some longtime veterans miss the haunting, desperate ambiance of the first game, while others appreciate the evolved narrative and polished gameplay systems of Dying Light 2 now offers. And the continuing updates and community-driven tweaks in 2025 and beyond have been designed not to replicate the original, but create an experience that stands on its own, balancing nostalgia with innovation. And to be fair, feedback with Dying Light 2 was historically mixed, with some players finding game's energetic free running and responsive combat insanely amazing, while others criticize aspects like repetitive missions and perceived gameplay simplifications. Today, many of the concerns have been directly addressed through targeted updates. For example, the addition of new modes and permanent tower raid has invigorated the game's gameplay replay value, and graphical improvements have helped modernize the visual experience without sacrificing game's core identity. Though debates about the difficulty and immersion persist, overall sentiment of devs' ongoing commitment has significantly bolstered the game's longevity and appeal. However, no matter what, I still think that capturing the essence of original was essential here, and for me at least, they kinda missed it. For me, it feels like another open world game with a bunch of things to do all around the place, where you need to complete the map and have checkboxes everywhere. Even though many games are doing this in the right way, here it's more of for the sake of doing things rather than for the sake of, well, having fun with it. Now, to be fair, at late stages of the game, it is more or less fun. And I'm not talking about when you complete the main story, I'm talking about while you're still playing the main story, it's quite fun. The story is, even though nothing invigorating, it's still good enough to keep you going. But everything can be forgiven if the price is right and if the devs are actually asking for, well, the price that you are willing to pay. So how much Dying Light will actually cost you? Well, the original full price of the game is, of course, $59.99, $60 game. Thank God it's not $7 game. But the lowest price that you can get it for is 67% off for less than 20 bucks. So yeah, you can get it for quite cheap. And if you want to get it even cheaper, you can get it for even lower price on an instant gaming. I will link it in the description, of course. So now, based on the price, is it worth it? Do I recommend you getting it based on the price? Well, if you're finding this on a sale or getting it from an instant gaming, then absolutely yes. For sub $20, yes, any day of the week. No matter whether you played original game, liked it, disliked it or not, for that price, Dying Light 2 is more than worth it. 20 bucks is a price that justifies getting it more than enough. You're getting interesting story, even though nothing amazing, still interesting story with an amazingly beautiful world. You're getting pretty visceral combat, especially during the nighttime. You're getting a large open world that will keep you busy for quite a while. And speaking of keeping you busy, it will take you around maybe 80 to 100 hours to complete mostly everything, not 500 hours just like devs are saying. It's around 80 to 100 in reality, still more than enough. And even if you'll stick to only the story, it will still take you 20 to 30 hours to complete the game. So 20 bucks for 30 hours of gameplay? Yeah, I think it's more than enough. Could it be better? Yes. Could it be worse? Oh, most definitely. Am I hyped for Dying Light Beast? Well, maybe not that much, but still, I'm very cautious of what we'll get in a very near future. And this video is sponsored by channel's partner and supporter, Instant Gaming. If you want best games for the best prices all the time, all year round, without waiting for any sales, Instant Gaming is the way to go. You can find all types of games for all the different platforms, and most importantly, for the cheapest prices possible. And I also partner with Instant Gaming for epic game giveaway of your choice. So click the link in the description down below for your chance to win. Thanks to Instant Gaming for their support, and now let's get back to the video. And if you like zombie action games, you might enjoy my review of Days Gone. Even though I absolutely hate the Sony, the game is still good and you can watch my review of it right here. Or if you like some type of RPG games, well, you can enjoy my review of Enshrouded right here as well. Don't forget to subscribe right here as well. This is me for today, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Take care.